From County College of Morris, this is CCM All Access.
Hello, and welcome to CCM All Access, the program that brings you news and information from the County College of Morris, students at CCM, members of the community, people doing good things. I'm your host, Brenda Todd, and we are coming to you from the Media Center on the CCM campus. Our guest this evening is Mr. Emmanuel Fotinis, who is a student employee at CCM's Office of Campus Life. Welcome, Emmanuel.
Thank you for having me.
How did you come to be working at the campus of student life?
So I actually had my sister's best friend working in the office before, and the first semester I kind of just came by every single day. I'd ding the little bell, and I'd be like, "Hey Jody, how's it going?" And I got to know everyone inside pretty well because my sister had a club before, and I kind of just met everyone there. And once Jody graduated, I asked for the job at Career Services and had an interview with Don Phelps and got the job.
Oh, that's great. So you work under Don Phelps?
Don Phelps, yes.
Right.
He's the director of Campus Life.
Right. He's in charge of the National Society of Leadership and Success.
Yes.
I know that. And so he also heads up all of the clubs here?
He helps so much with all the clubs. If you see him running anything behind the scenes from any club, you'll just see Don Phelps running across, back and forth, making sure everything runs perfectly.
Oh, that's great. Who else works there?
We also have Dawn Doland, Anne-Marie Lipiello, and Joanne Metro. They're both the three, they're all the ladies that help kind of with helping the clubs get their roster set, helping them with if they have any club food, maybe like their pizza parties, or if there's just meetings in general, they help kind of run everything for all the clubs.
Oh, that's great. So how many clubs do we have here?
Currently, I think we have around, I'm not exactly sure, but there should be 28 clubs this semester, at least around that ballpark.
That's great.
And we just have a different variety of clubs. There's different religious clubs. We have different clubs that just help promote different, I guess, awareness of, there's actually one in particular, the, sorry, it was the Active Minds.
Oh,
and what they do,
fantastic.
they help promote mental awareness of different things like anxiety. They help promote just natural disorders kind of that people have, and they just bring awareness to different topics.
Right. They must be in charge of when they have like the meditation.
Right, they help, they have the Distress Fest actually, which is, they have the therapy dogs that come on, they have the Distress Fest, and they have coloring sometimes. They just have different things that are more to de-stress, because all the college things get pretty active, and once you get caught up in everything, you just need a week to de-stress.
Absolutely. So their club then opens that up to the whole campus at those times.
Right, right.
And that's great. So how would you start a club here?
So to start at club, you first need to have a board and an advisor, someone that's a faculty member or just someone that's higher up on the campus, a professor, someone that can help mentor the club, help them in any way, kind of advise them in the beginning, the club advisor.
Okay.
And they would need a couple signatures, around 10 or so, and they'd need to go to Don Phelps, introduce the club first, ask him if it's a good idea, if they can have this club, and then once they get the 10 signatures and the advisor, they should be set to go.
Okay, so you need a minimum of 10?
At least, yes.
Right. And that's what you need to keep the club going? Like, how does a club possibly fail?
Once a club kind of starts up, they need at least 10 and like a decent showing for most of the clubs. It doesn't need to be every single time there needs to be 10 members present, but there needs to be an active 10 members in the program.
Right.
So say for SAPB, for instance, the Student Activities Programming Board, they do different things on campus like open mic events, just kind of help just promote and say at CCM we actually do have different clubs on campus.
Right, it kind of brings the campus together. It brings all the students together.
Right, right, and they have activities. And say if they stopped doing things on campus, they just for some reason didn't feel like putting on any events, then their club wouldn't be active because they really weren't doing anything.
Right. Right.
So for a club, every single semester, every beginning of the semester, we have the clubs come in and they need 10 signatures and the board and an advisor every single time to help the club jumpstart every single semester. So it's kind of every semester they need to reset.
So do you find that we're getting more and more clubs here, or
We have
does
been
it
getting
fluctuate?
we have been getting more and more clubs recently. We have been promoting more clubs. Mostly the promotion happens during the Welcome Back Bash, and that's around the first 3 or 2 weeks of college when we start in the semester. And it's just right in the middle, right outside the LRC. We have the clubs lined up. They have their names on top and just give out candy, things that kind of help draw attention to themselves and their table. And from there, they try to get signatures, try to draw interest to the clubs.
Okay. So what is the benefit of a student getting involved in a club?
The benefits are, there's so many, because the clubs vary from just being so in one area of focus, saying like a religious club, to a different club where it could be so dynamic, like SAPB, where they have just regular events. But the different interest of joining a club kind of is, if you can kind of meet new people that aren't in your major.
Right. Right. That you wouldn't naturally meet in your classes or something. And
Right,
people
right.
of like minds, I guess.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. And
It's also not bad to put on your resume
definitely
that you
not,
were
no,
involved
it's
in as many clubs as possible.
not at all. It's a wonderful thing to put on your resume.
Yeah. What's one of the oldest clubs we have?
Oof. I know SAPB, I'm going to keep bringing it up because they always have events going on, and it's always a rotating board, and people are always getting involved because they see the events they put on,
Right.
and they just want to join because it's a great promotion to see that the college is actually an active college.
So who funds these? For example, the SAPB, they have Mike Night, or they do karaoke or something like that, right? And then they have to get the equipment for that. So who funds these clubs?
So the Office of Campus Life has a budget for all the clubs, and each club has their own budget that they're allowed for pizza, for different equipment they'll need, for, I guess, advertising, for different flyers. The print shop helps a lot with having posters for each club, but the Office of Campus Life sets aside a different fund for each club.
Great. So where does somebody go to get this club information?
For any club information, you can go right to the information window, which is
Okay.
also the Office of Campus Life, 2-in-1, and you can just go right to the window, ask for what clubs are active, and we actually have a little paper that just has every single club, their meeting times, their advisor, and
really? Oh,
something to
that's great.
contact. So
That's terrific. So now you're involved in the social media aspect of it right now, or kind of what is your job description?
correct. So I was approached by Don Phelps one time to say, well, he asked me if I can help promote the CCM clubs through either Facebook. That was how it started off, in Facebook Live. And Allison from from College Relations, she came over, and I was introduced after I said yes, I would be interested. And we went off to tape the first take for promoting the CCM clubs on campus, and we just put a Facebook Live video right up. She stood there with her phone, had her paper
that's
with the
great.
script. And the first runs were just terrible because I was so nervous. I didn't know what to say. I mean, the clubs were promoted fine, but we eventually got better with each take.
Sure, it's a learning experience.
Correct,
right?
correct.
Exactly.
So it was a good time.
So are you learning a lot with the social media? I mean, that's giant in every aspect. In any job that you'll have, social media now is taking over all types of advertising, right?
Definitely. Social media, right now we're trying to get more promotional for the clubs, but as it started off, I mean, it was kind of just to promote most of the clubs, and we saw that on Facebook, a lot of the students stopped using Facebook. So we're trying to switch different, I guess, platforms right now, like Instagram and Snapchat.
Oh, well, that's great. We're going to take a quick break, and stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Not all County College of Morris students look like me.
Some look like me.
Or me.
Or me.
Or me.
We all come to CCM at different stages of life and for different reasons.
I plan to transfer to a university.
I'm training for a new career as a nurse.
But we all know one thing.
CCM is where we want to be.
So check out the website.
Check out the website.
Check out the website.
And let CCM connect learning and your life.
And we're back on CCM All Access. I'm Brenda Todd, and we're here with Emmanuel Fotinis. Emmanuel, let's talk about you. What brought you to CCM?
So my mother actually started off at CCM with my aunt and also my uncle. They all went through CCM, so it was kind of just heard good things before and still hear good things right now.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. So they started off, they got their 2-year degree here.
Right, they're associates. And my sister also went too. She graduated a year before, I think, yeah, just recently, a year ago.
Okay. So now you're first generation Greek, am I right?
Yes, first generation. Both my parents were born in Greece and they came over from Greece, I guess, yeah.
Right. And so they did that and then came here to get their education here.
Right.
They'd already had some education there? Or?
Mostly. From my father's perspective, he actually was born in Greece and lived around 27 years. And then he went to the army and then came to Greece after the army to study for just to go to college. And my mother, on the other hand, she was born in Greece. Around 7 months old, she took a boat over and came with my grandparents, and they started a family over here. They had my aunt, actually, here in America. So
Was Greek your first language then?
it was my first language. It was because my parents said, well, if they're going to be immersed in an American society, we're just going to be speaking English all the time. They're not going to remember their Greek.
Right.
So it was the first language I learned, and it's great for when I go back to Greece because I can speak. And it's not as good as it used to be, but learning different languages is pretty great. So
they spoke to you in Greek when you were young.
yeah.
And then at what point did that kind of...
So when I went to grade school, like as soon as I started kindergarten, I barely knew any English.
Wow.
So I kind of started off and was like, wow, what are all these weird kids saying? Like, I thought I was the one that's like, wow, everyone's out of their mind speaking English.
Right.
So then I got the hang of it, and I said, oh, wait, I'm actually the other kid that's not speaking English. So I caught on pretty quick because when you're that young, you can just pick up languages left and right. So
Yes, you're immersed in it.
definitely. And yeah, it's great. I mean, I can talk to my parents outside, and like, if I need to say something, I'm like, all right, cool, let's not let anyone else hear, but hey, let's speak Greek. And
Sure, that's very exciting. So then your family is all close by now?
yes,
That's
we're
very
actually right in the town over in Roxbury. We're just not even a 15-minute drive.
And I'm sure they're very supportive of you coming here.
Definitely, it's the safer option, and it's also one of the better options too.
It really is. It's a terrific option, especially just when you're first kind of figuring out what you want to do, and you have those credits that you need no matter where you go.
Exactly.
You can come here and do this. What are your plans after you get your AA?
I'm kind of drawing some things up right now. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going for, but at the current place in time, I'm looking more at just what I can do with what I have right now. I'm looking at some business classes like accounting right now, just because it's something that it's good to know in just the future. I mean, you want to know how to do your taxes since they didn't teach that in high school. So, I mean, just different things. I'm trying to see what I like, what my hobbies are, what I can add to my interests, what I can actually create later on as a profession later on.
Yes. It's a good place to discover yourself.
Exactly.
And then would you go to a 4-year college after that?
I intend to. I haven't really looked too far into how many colleges, but I'm planning on staying close by. So I'm visiting different options, I guess.
So are you involved in any of these clubs?
I was currently involved, actually past involved with Orthodox Christian Fellowship with my, my sister started that 2 years ago. So she actually did start a club.
That's great.
And she was just very involved. Whatever she did was just, yeah, very hands-on. She wanted always to get involved, get her hands dirty, and make a difference. So.
Yeah, that's terrific. And the more things you have to add to your experience here, and the more people you meet, the more connections you make, the better.
Definitely.
Right? Well, that's very nice. So you're doing the campus life, and that's an employed position?
Yes, student aid. So it's currently from Career Services, which, yes, is a paid position.
Right. And so you're doing that, you're doing the club, you're taking a full...
I currently haven't taken over the club because just everything's been getting a little bit more kind of caught up, and also a lot of our members graduated, so that doesn't really help, but I'm going to try to start getting it up again. And we'll see how that goes. But
and then you're taking a full load of courses?
Currently this semester, I'm actually on my last run for my music liberal arts courses.
Oh.
So I only have around 11 credits this semester, which has been my lighter load because I finished everything else. But now I just kind of intend on just taking some kind of backing courses before I transfer next fall, because I just want to have transfer when it's the beginning of the semester, so I can feel like a fresh start.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about the music program.
So the music program, it's a great program. We have just different things offered. I'm an 1190 major, which is music liberal arts.
Okay.
So it's kind of having a liberal arts major along with a music degree, and you're getting a lot of the electives. Instead of taking just the general electives a liberal arts major would take, it'd be kind of music-backed courses.
Okay.
So instead of taking, like, say, a language, I'd be taking music theory, voice lessons, piano lessons,
Oh, interesting.
and different things like that. So it kind of all adds in to a liberal arts degree, except it's backed with music.
Okay. And so with that, you're doing it for the experience of it, or you thinking?
Right. I just I started off with music liberal arts because I went to Roxbury High School, and the music program there is astounding. I mean, I went so many places abroad with them because the one choir teacher that was there, Miss Lynch, she just I'm not exactly sure how many years, around, I think it was 32 or something years, she had a superior rating for every single choir she had, and she taught me some very important things and just great morals overall, how to just be a decent person in life. And I kind of just wanted to stick with music because I've learned to sing so much in choir. I just wanted to sing as a kind of a soloist and to learn how to develop my own voice.
Sure, and that can take you a lot of places. You know, speaking
Definitely.
of going abroad, I know that there are programs at CCM or there's opportunities to go abroad.
Right.
Is that part of the campus life thing? Do people contact you if there's a trip to Europe?
So if we do have multiple trips that, not multiple trips, we have one trip that usually goes abroad. That's usually done from, I think it's the languages department, but we do have more information at the Office of Campus Life at the info window. And usually every summer we do have a trip that goes. I'm pretty sure there are study abroad programs that are offered through County College. So those are definitely available.
Right. Well, there's the study abroad programs, and then there's also just the opportunity to go abroad. Because I checked into the Italy one, and I think there was a Spain and France, right, last year. And so I didn't know if they go,
I think
guess
they went
you
to
can get
Prague too.
information. Yeah, you can get information there at the information desk at Campus Life. What else? I know that you do student IDs there.
Yep, so the job kind of entails making student IDs, kind of just helping anyone around the campus. A lot of the freshman orientations, we just kind of have all the students come in, we just make every single ID we can, and the computer it's an old computer, so it just gets backed up. So we have kids waiting there for 15 minutes, they're like, where's my ID? We're like, just hold on, like, it's a really slow system, just have some patience and we'll get it to you. But it's a great time. I mean, the dynamic in the office it's really great. Everyone's very friendly there. It's always kind of hands-on. You get some time to do your work, and in between asking, well, people ask you questions in between, so you get to learn different people on campus. People see your face and they recognize, oh, you're like the student aide in that class.
I recognized you.
So yeah, there you go. There's a prime example right here.
Exactly. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in a moment.
Not all County College of Morris students look like me.
Some look like me.
Or me.
Or me.
Or me.
We all come to CCM at different stages of life and for different reasons.
I plan to transfer to a university.
I'm training for a new career as a nurse. But we all know one thing.
CCM is where we want to be.
So check out the website
Check out the website.
Check out the website.
and let CCM connect learning and your life.
And we're back on CCM All Access. I'm Brenda Todd, and we're here with Emmanuel Fotinis. Emmanuel, what is the most frequently asked question at the information desk?
The most frequently asked question, that's probably, how do you get to the admissions office? And we just kind of reply, it's kind of towards this campus store, last office on the right, and also where's the LRC too. People just don't know where they're going at CCM when they first get here, so it takes a little bit getting used to around.
The LRC, you don't always connect that with the library.
The library,
even though it says
Learning Resource
Center right there, but you don't kind of connect it with that.
Everyone's like, oh, the library's on the second floor. I guess we're just going to assume the LRC's in the bottom. So.
But it's funny because you see information desk and you just you think, okay, they're going to tell me everything I need to know.
Exactly,
Right? And
and-
I imagine you get all kinds of questions there.
Every kind of question. I
Yeah.
mean, just get a whole spectrum of like, so how do I sign up for like scholarships? We're just like, all right, financial aid, just
Right.
go down.
Usually you're pointing them somewhere else.
Right, usually. We just kind of disperse
Right,
the crowds.
right.
We're like,
You're
all
very
right,
friendly.
this way, that way.
I know that even if you want to get tickets for the play, you
Definitely,
would
yeah.
go to the information. You could
Right.
go get
We
them
have,
there.
before
right?
the shows, we actually have the little tickets there for the play.
Right.
And we just sell them out right there from the information window.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
So get your pre-tickets right there.
Now, I believe you have a little bit of experience with the plays or with the musical theater.
Somewhat, yeah. I started off, since I was music liberal arts, everyone that was kind of in my major or just some people in my classes were like, oh, just do the musical. It'll be a fun time.
Right.
So yeah, it's the program that we have for the musical is just, it's a fun program. I mean, I think it was Monday nights and Thursday nights as well as Saturdays that we had practices.
Right.
And it was just an enjoyable time. I had a great time with the cast there.
Yeah.
We all got pretty well connected. It was just a fun group to hang around with.
Yeah, you become a family.
Definitely,
And they
yeah.
put on fantastic productions.
There are shows from Professor Mem, and she just does a great
Yeah.
job with her background from
Yes.
Juilliard, where she graduated from. And she just, everything about her is showtime. It's all cameras and action.
Yeah,
so.
very professional, very professional,
Definitely.
very serious. You have to be committed if you're going to
Oh,
do that.
definitely
You
have to be
can't-
committed.
Yeah, you can't take it lightly. But when you think about it, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday practices, it's
a
a
lot of
commitment,
time.
but it's not overwhelming.
Right,
You
right.
know, it just depends on what you want to do. So that's kind of neat for anybody who's a singer or an actor who wants
Yeah.
to get involved with that.
Great place to start.
Yeah. So what else at the information desk? So we know that you have the student IDs, you take care of the clubs, you give tickets out for...
For any, you also have tickets for multiple things too. Like, we have different sometimes shows on Broadway that we offer.
wow.
So the recent one that just passed is going to be Mean Girls. We have that this semester. Every semester we try to just get a different show on, just to kind of draw some interest that hey,
Sure.
like CCM does have trips and you can
Yeah.
get them for a discounted price.
That's right. So you go into New York City on a bus.
Right, it's a
Right.
bus trip. So you usually have the bus that leaves at a certain time right outside from the athletic building. And they usually sometimes have lunch if it's allowed, if they have enough time to get to the Broadway theater.
That's great.
And they go see a show and just come right back.
That's fantastic. You don't have to worry about parking or anything.
Not at all. You just get dropped off and picked right back up.
Yeah, that's wonderful. What else? That's
We have different things like sometimes some sports kind of go on too, like the Devils game. There's one coming
Okay.
up. Eventually it'll be, we have just, anything that's kind of available that has a discount for students.
right.
We look for it in the Campus Life office and we try to make it available. And just things that are more expensive. I know we have the Rockettes, the tickets, usually we have that for the office. And every single year we try to get the Rockettes tickets, and there's usually a pretty good showing of that.
So then that's you guys at Campus Life who organizes that whole thing, gets discount tickets, gets the bus,
Right, exactly.
organizes all of that. That's wonderful.
Definitely.
That's really wonderful. So you guys are busy there.
Oh, definitely. And we have, I also know one more thing too about speaking of discounts and everything. We have the one discount card that Joanne Metro actually just started. It was, since I was here, I think 2 years ago, she just started getting more around the college, just more businesses involved. And now it's kind of blown up. Like every single time I'm making an ID, we just give out a discount card and people come by the window asking like, where do we get the CCM discounts?
Right.
So we just tell them, and I mean, it's definitely, it's a wonderful thing for the businesses all around because it gets CCM students a discount, but it also gets them more business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It gets some more business. And a lot of people don't know that if you have your student ID, you can get discounts places anyway. Just with
Exactly,
a
just for
student ID.
having a student ID.
Movies, sometimes lots of different places.
Right, right, yeah, a lot of things.
And also the planetarium here.
Yes, and speaking about the planetarium, actually another lady in the office, Dawn Dolan, she helps with the reservations with that. So every single time someone calls up for the planetarium,
Oh, wow.
either we pick up the phone if she's not there and just help write down, or she just
Yeah.
coordinates all of that.
That is a wonderful show. I love going to that show.
Yeah, it's a great time.
It's
so,
really fantastic. So then where do you put all of this information out? You're talking about social media. You're trying to put it out on social media. Right now you can look on the CCM website for these things,
Right.
for the clubs and the
So
trips. And
for the clubs and trips and different things we have, we do have a tab for Campus Life. The website does need some updating, but it's getting there. It's a work in progress. Everything's always
Sure.
getting better. So right now, our main thing for the clubs, we have the social media pages and things we're trying to get more up there. We have been doing the Facebook Live videos, and that's where it started from.
Okay.
Now we're trying to branch off into the Snapchat and the Instagram,
Right.
different social media pages, and trying to get more viewers of CCM viewers, but also different people around the college to see what's going on at CCM and different things we offer, not just classes.
Right. I just joined Snapchat myself.
Good for
because
you,
students, not because of my kids, because students in my class said, Brenda, be on the Snapchat with us. So I just did that. So how would you advertise through Snapchat though?
So it is difficult from
Yeah.
Snapchat because you think you can only send like a picture and it vanishes. But for Snapchat, you can put a local story. And what we kind of intend to do with Snapchat is say, look, we're going to have like things that are going on current. Because for
Right.
Facebook Live, no one tunes into Facebook for the student perspective.
Right.
We have a lot of the staff and faculty that kind of, they see it when it's live. But for the social media aspect, we don't get too many students involved.
Right.
So for Snapchat, you pretty much see all the students, like we're always on Snapchat, we're just talking to our friends, and you can share stories.
Yeah.
So that was the one thing on Snapchat is that we can give the different clubs a spotlight of different things happening through the stories.
Right.
So we were going to start trying to do that and just kind of promote things as they're happening. So people can see it on their story, go right to their feed, scroll down, and just say, oh, I guess there's an Ultimate Frisbee meeting today, let's go check it out down by the
Right.
fields.
Oh, that's terrific. That's
So
a great idea.
definitely, it's more easy access to the students, and it also gives us a different door to open that lets more opportunities for
Right.
us.
So where do you see this going? Like, I'm sure that being involved there, you probably start coming up with lots of ideas that, we should do this, or we should have this club, or we should be doing, what are some of those ideas that you would like to see come to fruition?
I definitely would like to see a lot of the students participate more in some of the clubs that they have available, because not a lot of the students know that there is a club aspect to CCM.
Right.
So if we promote them either from having like the little Snapchat code, like the Snap code on just posted different bulletin boards and say follow our CCM Snap story or follow our Instagram, we can do an Instagram Live, but Instagram page.
Sure.
It will promote more students to join more clubs and just to kind of let them know that there are more things going on just than classes and other
Yeah.
things like that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Very exciting. There's so many things going on campus now, and I think that you are the person to contact about that. Look up
Definitely.
Emmanuel at the info desk. And this has been another edition of CCM All Access. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.